exciting day. We are going to Seattle officially. We've been in Washington RVing for about a month now, and it's been so much fun. We've been visiting with friends and all of our friends that we haven't seen for years, and we used to, if you aren't familiar with our story, we used to live in Seattle after we first got married. That's where Evie was born. So today's really special because we're actually taking Evie and all the kids, everybody obviously, to where she was born, our first house, where we brought her home, all of that. So she's really excited. We're really excited. This is just a really big moment that we've waited for a really long time. We always told her we would come back to Seattle and show her where she was born, show her the home we brought her home to. We're very excited. So we just left the house, the RV, and we are going to take a ferry over because we are on the peninsula in Poulsbo. So it's their first time going on a ferry that big as well. I was trying to tell them how big it actually is. They've been on little ferries, but nothing like this. So it will be interesting. It feels really crazy. It felt really crazy to be back in Washington. Speed bump. Felt really crazy to be back in Washington. All these speed bumps. It felt really crazy to be back in Washington all these years later, but it's kind of the same feeling going to Seattle now, even though we've been here for a month. Kind of emotional. So, are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you excited, Eric?
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yay! Yeah, the ferry is a boat. This is the same ferry that we took from Seattle to Bainbridge on our honeymoon.
That's supposed to be.
Evie, you're supposed to be in the line. Oh my gosh.
She was yelling at me, she said, "Port, port!" I vaguely know what port is, but I didn't know, like, where I was supposed to go, because the lanes are, like, over here. So we're on the very end of one of the lanes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about taking a ferry with our truck too, is that our truck is a dually and it's very, very big. It's so big that the other ferries that we've taken, they have to give us a special sticker. They have to put us in a special spot or something. And we usually get on dead last because
It costs $16 to go over there on the ferry.
So, we did choose a fifth wheel partially because we wanted to be able to drive around separate from our rig and go explore and stuff without having to drive a motorhome or have a little tow vehicle behind it. So that is nice, but taking your tow vehicle everywhere is, I mean, it's meant to be a tow vehicle, not a commuter car, so that's kind of interesting. So we'll see how long it actually takes us to get on the ferry. Now we're on the ferry. Is this what you expected? It's a little bit different, huh?
I really want to go on the passenger deck.
Hello, Seattle girl. coming back to me. I remember riding in the car, coming to the birth center, like seriously, way too late. I was like in transition or like pushing when I decided I needed to go to the birth center. Should have just had a home birth, but coming down that hill and like seeing everything over here, it's all coming back. I was only 18 when I had Evie. We basically grew up together.
Right there, the center for birth.
That's where Evie was born. So the lady was really nice and said if we had masks we could come inside and see where Evie was born. So we're gonna go. Need help?
It's the windows, but then they get in here and they want to close.
She was born like 15 minutes after noon.
Oh my goodness.
You were born in this tub, Evie.
What's your name?
Evie.
I have an Evie too. She's 18 though.
Aww.
Her name is Eva, but we.
Her name is Evelyn. And the bed was like, the headboard was over there.
It was over here.
Mm-hmm. It was so nice. They don't
Time in
have a
here.
tub. I spent my whole labor in here. I wanted to get in here before they even filled it all the way up. This building over here on this side is the parking garage for the birth center, where I actually almost had Evie because of coming to the birth center too late, and I was in this parking garage with Eric and his best friend, who was our housemate, about to give birth, while we waited for the midwife to get to the birth center. It's a great story.
Street toward East Lake Avenue East, then turn right onto East Lake Avenue East.
Pretty
This
open to me.
is Buca di Beppo. I'm butchering how you say that, but it's an Italian restaurant down here, and this is where we had our first Christmas dinner together that we absolutely could not afford. Did anyway, so memories.
Turn right onto West Lake Avenue North.
Right, it was that one?
Yeah.
Yep. Right there.
This does not a tween twag. Why did I just...
We made it to the candle shop. Are you excited to be out of the car? She always raves about her candles, and I know how like good they smell. We're actually from Kentucky, and we're like visiting. So I was like, while we're here, we have to do the candle. That little shop was so cute. It was like mini Anthropologie, and she works so hard on her candles and stuff. So if you need a more natural option for candles, that's definitely a good place to check out. Now we are 6 minutes away from our very first house ever. This is not the house that we brought Evie home to, but it is our first ever house in the Seattle area.
To East Section Street.
So it's our first time coming here, literally probably since we moved out 8 years ago. Right?
Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
When we moved to this area, it's in like a suburb of Seattle, and we did not have a car, which was a huge like culture shock to me. I grew up in a very small town without a lot of public transportation or anything like that, and there isn't even really a lot of public transportation in this small town suburb where we moved, so that was interesting to get used to. We're just looking at down like all the streets and stuff where we used to go apple picking. We used to help our neighbors pick their apples and pears and things like that, because there are a lot of fruit trees here and people won't pick them. They'll just let them go and let them fall all over the place, and then they rot all over people's yards, and the bees come and the wasps come, and it's like a giant mess that a lot of people actually have to deal with here. So we'd help them pick those. Oh my gosh, that's all coming back. If you ever wondered if I was a
Your
sentimental
destination
person,
is on the left.
with the yellow roses.